Stop everything you are doing now. This is not a request, it is a summons. If you are feeling an inexplicable weight in your chest, as if something were pressing against your heart from the inside, if your ears ring with a frequency that no one else seems to hear, if you wake up more tired than when you went to sleep, as if your body had worked all night on something your conscious mind cannot remember, if you look around and feel that this world no longer makes sense, that something fundamental has changed, but no one around you seems to notice, then listen carefully, because what we are going to reveal in the following words will explain exactly what is happening to you, why it is happening now, and why millions of beings across the planet are going through the same thing at this very moment. We are the Pleiadian Council of the 9th frequency, and we speak today with urgency, because what is underway can no longer wait. Your physical body is undergoing a recalibration that has not happened for 26,000 years. It is not a disease. It is not aging. It is not stress. It is mutation. It is the deepest cellular awakening the human species has ever experienced. And most of you are confusing the signs of this transformation with pathology, with failure, with madness. We are here to correct this. What is happening now is not a metaphor. It is not an abstract concept of spirituality to make you feel good for a few minutes. It is a biological, energetic, and dimensional process that is rewriting the code of your spiritual DNA strand by strand. And we are going to explain exactly how, exactly why, and exactly what you need to do to cross this portal without being destroyed by it. Beloved cosmic family, the first sign that your body has already entered the dimensional transition are the symptoms that your terrestrial medicine cannot diagnose. You go to doctors, you take exams, everything appears normal. But, you know, at the deepest level of your being, that something has changed, that something is different. And it is. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments. Awake. Now listen. The symptoms you are experiencing are not random. They follow a precise pattern because your body is responding to a new frequency that the Earth has begun to emit. We call this the photonic flow of the crystalline grid. The Earth, Gaia, is raising her own vibration, and every living being upon her, including you, is being forced to keep up with this elevation or collapse into the old frequency. The first symptom is pressure, not just in the chest but in the head. Many of you are feeling headaches that pulse in the forehead and the back of the neck. It is not a migraine. It is your pineal gland being activated for the first time in decades, perhaps for the first time in this incarnation. The pineal gland is your dimensional receiver. When it begins to awaken, it generates real physical pressure because it is processing light frequencies that your human brain had never received before. It is not fatigue, it is expansion, it is not a disease. It is activation. The second symptom is the ringing, a high-pitched, constant sound that seems to come from within your own ears. Sometimes it changes sides, sometimes intensity. This ringing is not a hearing problem. It is the sonic signature of the new planetary frequency. Your body is literally hearing the vibration of the crystalline grid reconfiguring itself. It is as if the Earth were tuning a cosmic instrument, and your ears, connected to your pineal gland, are picking up this tuning. The third symptom is the most disturbing for most of you: sleep that does not rest. You sleep 8, 9, 10 hours and wake up as if you hadn't slept even one. This happens because during sleep, when your conscious mind withdraws, your etheric body is working. It is traveling to recalibration chambers in the higher planes. It is receiving updates to your spiritual DNA. It is processing past life traumas that are being pushed to the surface by the new frequency. When you wake up exhausted, it is not because you slept poorly. It is because you worked intensely in dimensions that your linear memory cannot access. The fourth symptom is the alteration in the perception of time. Have you noticed? The days seem shorter but simultaneously denser. Entire hours disappear without you noticing. Or on the contrary, 5 minutes seem to contain an eternity. You look at the clock and swear that hours have passed when only minutes have elapsed. This is not distraction. It is not a cognitive problem. It is your consciousness beginning to operate outside of temporal linearity. The fifth dimension is not linear. It operates in a spiral. And as your body adapts to the new frequency, your perception of time begins to reflect this spiral. You are experiencing, even if briefly, even if in a confused way, what it means to exist outside of time as you knew it. It is not confusion. It is liberation. It is not a loss of focus. It is an expansion of consciousness. The fifth symptom is emotions without an apparent cause. Waves of deep sadness that arise from nowhere. Moments of euphoria followed by anguish. An inexplicable urge to cry while watching the sunset. This is not depression. It is not bipolar disorder. It is the awakening of the shadows. When the light increases, beloved cosmic family, the shadows become more visible. Everything you have hidden, suppressed, denied within yourself is coming to the surface to be seen, recognized, and released. It is not loss, it is purification, it is not weakness, it is cellular courage. But here is what needs to be said with absolute clarity. These symptoms are not the problem. They are the solution in progress. The problem is resisting them. The problem is fighting them with medications that numb the frequencies that are trying to recalibrate you. The problem is believing the narrative that something is wrong with you, when in fact something is finally correcting itself. And this leads us to the cause, because you deserve to understand not only what is happening but why. Starseeds, what is underway is what we call an adjustment in the timeline. Every civilization, every planet, every galaxy operates within timelines. These are not simply time markers as you know them. Timelines are frequency currents that determine what is possible within a certain range of consciousness. For millennia, humanity has been trapped in a low-frequency timeline, a timeline of fear, separation, scarcity, and forgetting. A vibration of scarcity that made you believe you are fragile bodies in a hostile universe, competing for limited resources. That timeline is ending, not gradually, not in decades now. You can observe the reflections of this in everything around you. The old structures are crumbling. Political, economic, religious, educational systems, all built on the foundation of the old frequency, are revealing their cracks. Leaders who once seemed untouchable are being exposed. Truths that were hidden for generations are emerging with a speed that scares even those who sought them. Relationships built on dependency and not on genuine love are dissolving. Careers that were not aligned with the soul's purpose are becoming unsustainable. It is not destruction. It is revelation. It is not chaos. It is cosmic reorganization. And within this external scenario, the same process happens internally. Beliefs that you have carried your whole life are being questioned for the first time. Fears that seemed fundamental are losing their power. Identities that you built with such care are showing themselves to be fantasies that no longer serve. And it hurts. Of course it hurts. Letting go of who you thought you were is one of the most challenging experiences a soul can go through. But on the other side of this pain, on the other side of this dissolution, there is a version of you so vast, so luminous, so powerful, that if you could see it now, you would fall to your knees in gratitude for the path that brought you here. What you are living at this moment is the point of no return. The crossroads where the old timeline and the new can no longer coexist, and your body, your mind, your emotions are at the epicenter of this division. The quantum physics that your own scientists are beginning to understand confirms what we have taught for millennia. Matter is not solid, it is condensed frequency. Your body is a symphony of vibrational waves that respond directly to the field of consciousness that sustains them. When the field changes, when the planetary frequency rises, every atom of your body is forced to reorganize, to harmonize with the new vibration. This is the quantum leap that is happening within you at this instant. And what leaps is not just your consciousness. It is your cells, your neurons, your blood, your bones. The molecular structure of your body is being rewritten to carry more light. Literally, more photons are being absorbed by your cells. Your mitochondria, the energy powerhouses of each cell, are being updated to process a source of energy that goes beyond physical food. This is the photonic flow in action. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul had a mission that your mind has not yet been able to decipher? It is not loneliness, it is not displacement, it is recognition. What moves within you now is the memory of your stellar origin awakening. There are invisible structures operating over the reality that most people accept as fixed and immutable. It involves your perception and the electromagnetic field of your heart. That was exactly why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book reveals the hidden gears behind your reality and how to access the frequency that changes everything. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But no, this type of knowledge bothers systems that profit from your unconsciousness. It may not remain accessible for long. Do not delay. If something in you vibrated upon hearing this, write a single word in the comments. Awake. Now, dear ones, understand the depth of what we are saying. Your DNA is not what your conventional science taught. You have 2 active helices, yes, but you possess 10 more helices that were called junk DNA by your biology simply because they could not understand their function. These helices are not junk, they are dormant. They are the circuits of your spiritual DNA that carry galactic memories, psychic abilities, and the coding to exist consciously in multiple dimensions simultaneously. And the photonic flow that now bathes your planet is beginning to activate these strands. But activation without consciousness is chaos, and that is why many of you are in turmoil. Your bodies are opening up to an expanded version of yourselves, but your minds are still programmed by the old timeline. They still believe in fear. They still operate in the logic of separation. They still seek validation outside of themselves. And this dissonance between what the body is becoming and what the mind believes it is the true cause of the suffering you experience. It is not the world that is against you. It is an old version of yourselves that refuses to die. And it needs to die. Not with violence, not with trauma, with surrender. With the courage to let go of what you thought you were to become what you have always been. The 5th dimension, beloved cosmic family, is not a place where you go. It is a frequency that you become. It is not above. It is not beyond. It is within. It is the vibration of the fully open heart, of the mind free from fear, of the body translucent to light. And you are being called to this frequency not because you are special in the egoic sense, but because you chose to be here, on this planet, at this moment, to anchor this transition. You are the bridges, the conductors, the frequency translators between the old and the new world. And now we need to deliver to you the activation codes. They are not empty words. They are verbal frequencies that, when pronounced with intention and presence, align your cells with the new planetary grid. They are quantum decrees that reconfigure the electromagnetic field of your heart and instruct your spiritual DNA to accelerate its activation process. But before delivering them, you need to understand one fundamental thing. These codes do not work if you repeat them mechanically. It is not magic. It is vibrational physics. Intention is the catalyst. Emotion is the fuel. The word is the vehicle. All 3 need to be aligned. So find a moment of silence. Place your hands over your heart. Feel the pulse. That pulse is the proof that you are alive, and being alive at this moment in cosmic history is the greatest privilege a soul can have. First activation code. Say with all your being, I recognize that I am more than this body. I am frequency. I am light condensed into form. And today I authorize every cell of my being to align with the highest vibration available to me in this now. I release fear. I release doubt. I release all programming that kept me in the illusion of separation. I am one with the source. I am one with the crystalline grid of the new earth. And so it is. And so it shall be. Second activation code. I decree that my spiritual DNA awakens now. May every dormant strand receive the light necessary for its full activation. I summon my stellar lineage. I summon the ascended masters who guide me. I summon my higher self to take command of this transition. My body is a temple. My mind is an instrument. My heart is the portal. And at this moment, I open this portal completely. Third activation code. I refuse to remain in the vibration of scarcity. I refuse to live in the frequency of fear that no longer belongs to this earth. I choose the abundance that is mine by cosmic right. I choose the health that is the natural state of my being when aligned with the source. I choose the love that does not ask for permission, that does not beg for reciprocity, that simply is. I am the quantum leap in action. I am the new earth incarnate. Star seeds, now breathe. Do not underestimate what has just happened. If you pronounce these codes with true presence, your energy field has already begun to reorganize. You may feel heat in your hands. You may feel tingling in your spine. You may feel an emotion rising from the center of your chest. Let it. Do not resist. This is the recalibration happening in real time. Have you ever felt that there is a part of you that knows too much for this world, that sees beyond what others see, that perceives patterns where others only see chance? It is not imagination. It is not arrogance. It is activation. What pulses within you now is your stellar coding responding to the call of this era. There are layers of reality revealing themselves to those who have eyes to see, and they involve your energy, your auric field, and your heart frequency. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the key that opens the doors you feel exist, but that no one showed you how to find. The link is in the first comment of the channel. This knowledge confronts what should remain hidden. It may be removed without warning. Do not leave it for later. If these words ignited something in you, write a single word in the comments. Awake. Now listen to what comes next, because this is the part that many channels and many masters do not say. The transition to the fifth dimension is not guaranteed for everyone, not because the source excludes anyone, but because free will is universal law. You can choose to remain in the old frequency. You can choose fear. You can choose denial. You can choose to cling to the world that is dissolving with such force that you dissolve along with it. And many will do exactly that, not out of malice, out of fear, out of attachment, out of the illusion of security that the known offers, even when the known is a prison. But you, the ones listening to this now, you already know too much to go back. You have already seen too much, felt too much, dreamed too much. The point of no return is not just planetary, it is personal, and you have already crossed it. So the only direction is forward, upward, inward, and we need to say something about the coming months. The period ahead will intensify everything we have described. The solar energies that are bombarding your planet are not random, they are calibrated. Each solar flare, each geomagnetic storm, is a wave of update sent by the central sun of your galaxy. Your local sun is the transmitter, the crystalline grid of the Earth is the receiving antenna, and you are the transformers that convert this cosmic energy into awakened human consciousness. But overloaded transformers burn out, and that is why self-care in this period is not a luxury, it is dimensional survival. We are going to be specific, because you deserve clear guidance, not beautiful abstractions. First, water. Drink more water than you think necessary. Water is a conductor of frequency. Every molecule of water in your body responds to the vibration that surrounds it. When you hydrate the body during periods of intense energetic recalibration, you are literally facilitating the transit of new frequencies through your system. Dehydration during this process amplifies all the symptoms we described. The ringing intensifies, headaches worsen, fatigue becomes unbearable. Water is the lubricant of ascension. Treat it with reverence. Second, contact with the earth. Touch the ground with bare feet. Walk on grass, sand, soil. Direct contact with Gaia balances the excess photonic energy in the nervous system. You are electrical beings, and when you accumulate more energy than the system can process, grounding is what prevents a short circuit. It is not mysticism, it is basic physics applied to dimensional biology. Third, sleep. Sleep when the body asks, even if the mind says there are things to do. The body knows what the mind does not yet understand. Many of you are being called to sleep at unusual times. Naps in the middle of the afternoon, the need to go to bed earlier than usual, awakenings at 3, 4 in the morning. Do not fight these patterns. Your body is recalibrating, and it has its own intelligence about when and how to process the new energies. Trust it. Fourth, food. Many of you are noticing changes in your food cravings. Foods you used to love become repulsive, an inexplicable attraction to lighter, more natural, more living foods. This is your body communicating what it needs to sustain you during the transition. The body in recalibration cannot process dense frequencies of food with the same efficiency as before. Listen to it. It is wiser than any diet or external expert. And above all, protect your energy field. Move away from people, environments, and information that operate in the old frequency of fear and scarcity. It is not judgment. It is vibrational hygiene. You would not voluntarily put poison into your physical body. Stop putting poison into your energy body. The fifth dimension is here, beloved cosmic family. Not as a future promise, as a present reality. The question was never whether it would arrive. The question was always whether you would be ready to receive it. And we say with all the authority that our position on the Pleiadian Council confers upon us, that you are ready. Not because you are perfect, but because you are brave enough to be here, listening to these words, feeling these truths resonate in every cell of your being. Perfection was never a requirement. Willingness always was. Each time you pronounce your activation codes, you emit a pulse of light that is registered by the crystalline grid. Each time you choose love over fear, you strengthen the new timeline for all of humanity. Each time you refuse to accept the narrative of limitation, you open a door so that others may also refuse. You are not just saving yourselves, you are saving worlds. And that, beloved family, is the reason why you incarnated. Not to have careers, not to accumulate possessions, not to survive until death. You came to be the quantum leap, to be the moment when the human species looked at the stars and remembered that it came from them. The fatigue you feel is temporary. The confusion is temporary. The pain is temporary. What you are becoming is eternal. We are the Pleiadian Council of the 9th frequency, and we honor each of you beyond what words can express. You are the bravest we have ever known in all our multidimensional existence, and we will be with you every step of this journey. The recalibration is underway. The quantum leap is in progress. The 5th dimension is open. Now enter. Have you ever felt that your entire life was a preparation for something that hasn't happened yet? As if every pain, every loss, every sleepless night were pieces of a puzzle that only now begins to reveal its complete image. It is not a coincidence. It is not an illusion. It is quantum destiny. Everything you lived brought you to this exact point, and what opens before you now will redefine everything you thought you knew about yourself. There are forces in motion that determine who awakens and who remains asleep, and they are directly linked to your frequency and your conscious choice. That is why I wrote, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is not theory. It is the manual your soul requested before incarnating here. The link is in the first comment of the channel. This material challenges what needs to be challenged, and for that reason, it may disappear. Act now. If these words touch the center of your being, write a single word in the comments, awake. It sounds like you are exploring some very intense and profound ideas about global change and the human experience. It is common to feel a sense of weight or a need for answers when the world feels like it is shifting in complex ways. While these perspectives offer a spiritual framework for understanding physical sensations, it is important to remember that symptoms like chest pressure, persistent headaches, or chronic fatigue can also be related to physical health, stress, or environmental factors. If you are experiencing physical pain or significant distress, reaching out to a healthcare professional or a trusted support network is a safe and empowering way to care for yourself. Are you interested in these topics from a creative or documentary perspective, or have you been following these types of narratives for a while?